Happy New Year. Welcome to the first episode of the new year, The Para Perspective. And we are going to continue on our conversation with how not to be that para down the hall. Now, we already talked about what that para is. We know that is a spirit killer. Someone who sucks the life and the joy out of a child as they're trying to educate them. 2, we learn to check our privilege. Yes, even your homegirl right here has to check her privilege. So, did you check your privilege? Now, let's move on to step number 3. Step number 3 is always be learning. Now, don't tell me that my grammar's wrong and see I'm already off to a bad start. No. I'm going to say the word be because it is active. You always need to learn something new. Now, you're like, Leah, the school district has 20 hours. That is enough. No, it's not. And no one said you had to do those 20 hours. So how many times have you decided to try something new? Okay, I'll give you an example. So what you may not know is that the school district in Philly has PDs during the summer. You can take them. They are on Cornerstone. Where I took Green Futures one a couple years back, and it had 3 things going for them. 1, it knocked out my 20 hours in 3 days. 2, free breakfast and lunch. 3, got paid for it. And 4, sorry, there's more than 3. It was in my favorite place, the Franklin Institute. What? Okay, so why did I take that? I took it because I wanted to teach the kids about climate change and what they do at home has an effect of what happens in the rest of the world. Now, I know as a para that we are only supposed to reinforce and not do any new teaching. So I did not do any new teaching. We went over things like finding the main idea of climate change in an article. We went over, problem solving. Yeah, so you can word it any way you want to if you're really up to it. And it's a part of being an abolitionist para, one who's more about cultivating critical thinkers. It is by not exactly following directions. Here's my rule. It's better to have to apologize than to ask and be told no. So I will go, oh, I know that's not what you meant, but I'm already done. But thank you, I'll know for next time. So anyway, so Green Futures is a program within the school district that, it's called Eco Schools, and it's about how to get our schools and our children to be critical thinkers about climate change and greening up our schools. And what I did was I went to the PD and I made some serious connections. Like Ellen Schultz, she is like I call her the school liaison for Fairmount Waterworks. I was like, hey, Ellen, I sent her, we have a project-based learning. We have project, and the kids need to know where the water goes from that's in the drain in the middle of our courtyard in the school. Where does that water go to? Like, we need to know the path of that water. She's like, you need a map? I was like, yeah. I was like, if you can find us a map, because there's a kick butt map in the middle of Fairmount Waterworks that shows the path of water. And she goes, oh, okay. She goes, hold on. What else? What exactly are you doing? I said, they want to trace the path of the water from the courtyard back to the water in the sink. She goes, oh, you need the watershed. Hold on. I'm going to hook you up with the person you need to talk to. Now, we really didn't get to started making a connection, but we didn't because of the Rona. So it was beginning of March, the end of February, beginning of March that we started on this project. I had them do this for 2 weeks straight. And, it was like March 12th. And it was the end. It was the end of us. So, but still, that relationship still carries over today. And it's to the point where it's like, I will always take the Green Futures PD because I find something new every time. And it's like, and Ellen sees me, goes, Leah. I go, hey, Ellen. She goes, hi, Leah. Okay. So it's a big old woo. And it's like a little community. And it's good for us to stretch out because it broadens our network and it opens our ideas. And it not only opens our ideas, it opens ideas of other teachers who may have inclusive children that are inclusion and or they work with SPED kids and they're not all the time and they're not quite sure what to do with them. And also with their own kids, it gives them ideas because we see things from a different point of view. And sometimes, a lot of times, it is very, very helpful because it gives them a different way of learning. So we're not only helping our kids, we're helping everybody's kids. And, you know, the facilitators are like, woo, because they're kind of used to regular ed teachers coming to these PDs, so they really don't have to think of how to differentiate them. They enjoy that, okay? So if you can get yourself, if you can find a PD, take it, okay? It doesn't matter. Like there's the Patan, it's P-A-T-T-A-N. That's the one for Pennsylvania. It has stuff there. I've done simplified writing. Sometimes you'll find on Facebook there's an ad for a PD or something. As long if they give you a certificate, take it. If they don't give you a certificate, take it because it makes a big difference. And it's how you learn how to do better, how to think differently. Like we don't want kids that's always going to be doing folder games if they can do something else or, you know, sorting. Now, some of our kids do need that. But if it's a way to make it meaningful and life, you know, life meaning, like if it means something, a skill that they need, hey, go right ahead because we want our kids to do better. We want our kids to be independent. Being a SPED assistant is a calling. To stay with it and not because Lord knows it's not the pay. So in order to help our children, go out and find new PDs. It's not going to kill you. You get a lot of information. You build networks. Like I have met, her name is Kim Hunt. I think her name is Hunt. But she's a teacher. I forgot the name of the school she's at. But anyway, she was able to build her own curriculum around science for 6th, 7th, and 8th grade. And in her room, I remember she's talking about she had fish and turtle and a garden. And when you make these connections with these people, when different teachers across the city, across the state, across the country, you are able to give your students that you are in charge of and they're responsible for teaching, because we are still teachers. We are always teachers. We are always educators. Anyway, you give them an opportunity to expand their world. So imagine if Temple Grayden's parents left her, you know, listen to the doctor and say, yeah, she ain't gonna do nothing the rest of her life. Let her just go sit there and play with blocks. Or Greta Thunberg or the others really life-changing scientists and artists and musicians and writers that are special needs that had parents and educators who actually cared about them and said, no, we're not going to accept this. We're going to find a way to bring the world in. Okay? That's what we got to do. We got to bring the world in. And speaking of which, I'm going to do this real quick. If your children can handle the talk to them about Wednesday. Talk to them about that. Even if you got to reframe it as, this is what we did for our kids. We talked about that. We let them see the videos. So a good way to ask them is say, is it okay if we as teachers get mad and tell you as a student to go and break something of another teacher's because we are mad at that teacher? Start there. Or is it okay if that we as teachers are mad at the principal because he wouldn't let us do something for the class? If we tell you to go out in the classroom and go out in the hallway and go tear it up, break up the walls, write on the walls, tear stuff down, is it okay? That's your jumping off point. That is it. That will frame everything, because you got to bring it home. You got to start it at the little bit so they know what you're talking about. So that's my little chit-chit for now. Next, we're going to talk about building authentic relationships. Yeah, this is all one big puzzle. And next up is the tip, and then I will leave you with an inspirational thought of the day. Bye. All right, guys, here is my tip for the week. Choice boards. Okay. Choice boards give our students a choice of how they want to learn and how they choose to display what they've learned. So they come in different sizes. You can pick how many activities you want to do. You can be hands-on, verbal. You know, I love a good choice board, and teacher pay teachers and their free stuff. Again, free. That is my spot. And just get the digital choice boards, and you can pick 3 activities. They have ones that are templates, and you can just add different things to them. Pinterest is another one where you can find some choice boards. So try a choice board for your students. See if that works. See how well it does. I'm going to try it myself because we are reading Stamped with my purple group, and it's going to be a long one. I think this will be our book for the end of the year, and I'm going to see how it works, and y'all let me know how it works with y'all. All right? So choice boards. I'm going to put a link to some of them I have, or pictures of what I have. Bye. Here is our inspirational thought of the day. It is coming from my favorite book, of course. P is for Pirate, the Educational ABCs for Educators. Fun book. Now, this time I got it from the back of the book because the next H I'm going to use for next week. So, H is for hunger. Though some may consider teachers or parents to be experts, our true expertise lies in our hunger and our willingness to pursue what we don't know. Our job is to live out that hunger in front of our students. Sound familiar? Always be learning? Yes. Always be learning. So the more we show that we want to learn and do learn and are curious, the more we'll make our own children learn. We model the behavior that we want our children to have. Okay?